Murder in the morning from the Hidden Killers podcast.
Asa Ellerup has a DNA match to some of the material that was found on some of Rex Heuermann's alleged victims, if in fact he is the one who did this. I don't know. When you find DNA of a couple on dead bodies, usually means you probably are in the right place. But this is a little bit different. DNA evidence has taken the center stage in the ongoing murder case against Rex Heuermann, the prime suspect, of course, in the deaths of at least 3 women near Gilgo Beach in 2010. The recent development reveals that a cheek swab that was taken from Heuermann's estranged wife, Asa Ellerup, matches the DNA found on the burlap that was used to wrap the victims' bodies, according to sources close to the investigation. Matches DNA found on the burlap. That was interesting. DNA like on the sack itself? Like
that's what it sounds like.
Okay. Hopefully they got that DNA, that documentary crew ready to go to a jail soon. Asa Ellerup's DNA sample was collected on July 13th, the same day her husband was arrested and charged with the murders of Melissa Barthelemy, Waterman, and Amber Lynn Costello. The revelation, of course, has raised questions about the potential implications of her DNA being found at a crime scene. For some reason, this is one of those cases where it's like DNA's at the scene, but look the other way. There's nothing to see here. In the other case, there's DNA from somebody else. They're like in custody, or I don't know why this is not gone there yet. Ellerup's lawyer, Robert Macedonio, of course, downplaying the significance of the DNA match, suggesting it would be a result of hair transfer inside the house. He emphasized that Ellerup has not been accused of any involvement in the alleged murders and was out of the country when each of the crimes is believed to have taken place. And without much proof either, other than her saying, I was out of the country. When did the murders happen? I was out of the country. Unless she was out of the country for years.
How do you know when the murders happened? That's the thing. That's the other thing. How do you know when they happened so that you could say that you weren't even around?
Exactly. Experts have noted that Rex Heuermann's hair was also found under Megan Waterman's body. The hair contained mitochondrial DNA, which could provide additional genetic clues. However, Heuermann's lawyer, Michael J. Brown, has asserted that mitochondrial DNA does not directly identify a suspect, as it could potentially match thousands of individuals in the area. Not quite. That's not really quite how that works. There's nobody on the face of the earth that is credible who is going to say the hair is from my client, Brown stated. That is impossible under science standards. What they can do is say potentially that Heuermann is a donor, but also could thousands of other persons in the area. No, I mean, there's enough matching on this, and they have 2 people now matching from the same place. That's lightning in a bottle right there.
It is.
Whether or not,
the stuff that they found on his computer, the fact that he had been searching about this alleged killer. He had been talking to people about this alleged case. Everything is starting to get pulled into a basket, and that basket is Rex Heuermann.
100%. I mean, and between his looking up things on the case and why he wasn't caught yet or this or that, he was looking up child porn too. So that adds to everything else that's going on here. Of course, they matched his DNA from a discarded pizza box near his Manhattan office. The match is among the evidence linking him to the murders of the 3 women. Rex, he's 60. He's been accused, of course, of killing all of those women. Ellerup filed for divorce following her husband's arrest, indicating a strained relationship in the wake of the murder charges against him. However, never filed it yet. It's been filed, but she's never actually gone forward with the divorce. So is she? Is she not? 50 Cent, luckily, is on the case, along with G-Unit, to make sure that Asa gets all of the evidence and makes a good, clear decision for herself about what to do when the man you've lived with for 30-some years is accused of being a serial killer, watches a lot of porn in the cave basement, and collects over 100 weapons. Was
this the guy, Tony, that was also looking up something to do with violent ways to have sex with women, or it was something horrific. Yeah.
It was like very specific, creepy, horrible shit. It was like, I don't have the list in front of me, but if I remember right, it was to the effect of like very descriptive about the age of the girl that he was interested in, what they looked like, and then like really violent sexual things. Is what he was searching. That's in his search history. So he clearly, had a thing.
He had a type.
And they have all the sex workers who've come out and said, yeah, he tried to date me here and there. And that's not just all the way back to 2010. That's like ongoing recent years, leading one to think maybe there's other bodies out there that are connected to Rex Heuermann. I don't know. This doesn't seem like he's that much of an enigma, but the investigation seems to treat him like he is. It feels like, I don't know, be easier to kind of go down the roads of what he's done and make the charges, but for some reason it gets hung up on all these different weird places. And now we have new leadership in terms of the Suffolk County Police and the investigation. So who knows where this goes from here. But I am a bit concerned with the new leadership of this going where it needs to fully wrap up the investigation or see who else Rex may have been responsible for.
I'm curious as to, can we get to the bottom of why this took so long to find him? Is it because it was sex workers and they're less than people, which they're not, but maybe that's how they were viewed in the system. I want to know why this took so long. If this were back in the 70s, 80s, DNA, okay, it wasn't as advanced. Now, I was looking at the DNA report for the cat that you can see over my shoulder in the video.
Yeah.
I've got a report on my cat and his DNA. So don't tell me that the DNA isn't up to par, that we couldn't have figured out who this guy was a lot sooner.
I think there's a simple answer to that, and there was people in law enforcement that were frequenting the same individuals that Rex was, and you don't want to rock that boat now, do you?
Want to listen ad-free? Want advanced access to all of our interviews before anyone else?
Become a True Crime Today Premium Plus subscriber on Apple Podcasts.
You get every episode commercial-free.
So you can binge on true crime
until you can binge no more.
Search True Crime Today Premium Plus on Apple Podcasts now, or go to our podcast page and sign up now.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast next.